On today's Rockin' Rant, what Eddie Trunk is not telling you about these paid meet and greets and VIP packages that a lot of bands are, most bands are putting out there. Want to find out what it is? Stick around. You're listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, changing rock history one podcast at a time. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus Rockin' Rant number 9. Number nine. Okay, I don't have time for that. We've got to keep this short and sweet. Eddie Trunk has done a series of, there's a series of YouTube cuts of it, and he's talked about it many times on his show, sort of criticizing, especially criticizing Kiss for these meet and greet VIP packages. You know, where you can spend extra money and get the band to maybe get your photo taken with the band, get maybe them to autograph a musical instrument for you. Just on down the line. This is just some simple things. Kiss has some very elaborate things. All bands have this. I mean, every band from Dweezil Zappa to Kiss to all the big bands and everybody in between, even a lot of small indie bands have created these VIP packages. Let me explain to you. And Eddie Trunk, by the way, let me explain. Eddie Trunk has been very critical of this on his shows, his podcasts, and all the YouTube clips that are out there. But here, right, there, a lot of these things are like really expensive, especially when it comes to bands like Kiss. But let me sort of like, let's put this in context. First of all, these bands have lost a giant portion of their income that they no longer get from physical album sales in CDs or whatever. They're no longer getting that. I mean, they're getting micro cents on a play on Spotify, and almost nobody's even buying iTunes anymore because you can just stream stuff. So that isn't even buying a download or whatever. People just want to go to the website. Now, they don't even want to have it on their computer. You know, everybody's running around with these little mobile devices. So they've lost a lot of money. So they're used to big bucks coming in that aren't coming in anymore. So part of the solution for that, among other things, but part of the solution for that is to create these VIP packages at the concerts. Believe it or not, guys, this actually helps you. I mean, even if you don't buy the VIP package or I don't buy the VIP package, what this does is this actually helps offset some of the concert costs, because the concert tickets could be actually even a lot higher if they didn't do this, because the people that buy into these VIP programs are actually helping keep the cost down for the rest of us, because they're spending a whole lot of money, and this is really helping the artists kind of make up for some of that missing cash, and allows us to go to the concert at a slightly more reasonable cost. Yes, I understand concerts have gone way up in the past few years, and that's another reason why. The loss of sales from physical music. The high cost of touring. Touring is out freaking outrageous. It's really expensive. Just look at the price of gas here in the U.S. I mean, and in Europe, I think you guys are probably paying double. I mean, it's really expensive to tour, and then you got to pay musicians. That's why I interview so many bands, and I'm like, so what's the live show like? Well, you know, yeah, I recorded this album with a full band, but I'm going out solo. And they're doing that because it's so freaking expensive, or they're doing really tiny tours, or they're only going on weekends and stuff like that because it's freaking expensive. If you can offset the cost, there's another way that bands are offsetting the cost of touring. So there's very good reasons why these packages exist. Also, the band... This is totally the fans' prerogative. Nobody's twisting anybody's arm to buy this stuff. There are, believe it or not, guys, and a friend of mine, Tom Hess, told me that when he was touring with Rhapsody of Fire, there were obviously like trust fund kids that followed the bands everywhere and bought everything they did and salivated at the chance to, do meet and greets and pay extra money for stuff like that. So there's a lot of people out there that will pay for this stuff, and nobody's like really going broke from it. I mean, if you want to spend money on it, that's your prerogative. Nobody's twisting your arm. Kiss isn't saying you can't come to the show unless you buy the VIP. None of that. I understand that you may not agree with all the practices. Some of the practices are like, well, you might get to meet the band and things like that. That is up to the fan. That's all disclosed. You can choose to buy or not. Also, no fans are really going broke from this. I mean, it's, again, a concert is not like medicine. Maybe for some of us it really is, but it's not like a life and death thing. It's not a necessity. This is an entertainment thing that you're going to. I'm sure you get a lot of spiritual inspiration from it, a lot of great, emotional lift from it. But again, it is not some sort of thing that is like a life and death thing. It's not food, clothing, shelter, medicine, things like that. It is a freaking rock concert, and it is your prerogative to spend your money the way you want to spend it. Don't let Eddie Trunk or anybody else make you feel bad if you want to spend for the top tier meet and greet, the package that Kiss has or Iron Maiden or whoever has, or whoever's touring, whatever you want to do. That is completely up to you. You shouldn't feel bad. You shouldn't feel guilty. You shouldn't feel stupid. You shouldn't feel ripped off. If you love that and you're passionate about the band, absolutely go for it. It helps all of us, and it helps the bands keep doing what they're doing. That is my rock and rant number 9 on VIP packages, meet and greets, and why I think Eddie Trunk is a little off base here. I just want to, in conclusion, say very quickly, I love Eddie Trunk. I wouldn't be doing this. Eddie is a huge, I'm a huge fan of Eddie, and he's a huge inspiration for me. I just happen to disagree with him on this. If you love Eddie Trunk, I'm not pooping on Eddie. I love him. I just happen to disagree on this one particular thing. Check him out. All right, guys, thanks for listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus Rock and Rant number 9. LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com is our website. Check back often for more great podcasts. Don't forget to join us live on our Hard Rock and Metal Circus, and I'll catch you guys all on the next Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.